Hello my friends, it's Andre here again. I hope you enjoyed your week and you are ready for the stream on Thursday, just like every week. Let me just put down the music here and I'll start. Last time I forgot about the background music, so let me just turn that on right now. Cool. So, I'm always looking forward to these streams because it means that right after this stream, there is usually just one more meeting, and then it's Friday, my innovation day, and then it's the weekend. So that's awesome. Last time we were talking about Jamstack, right? And it seems like the topic is never ending, guys. Ooh, I see. Well, there's way too much light on my camera here. Can you see that? I'm just gonna try to fix it here. It seems like it still seems there is too much light here. Okay, let me fix that quickly. It wasn't doing that, just a few minutes ago. Okay, let me fix it. Just gonna configure the video here. Okay, I never know how to do this, but okay, this seems to work. Slightly. Okay, now there's way too many, bars. Hey Andre, yeah, I'm glowing. Hello, how are you today? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to fix the exposure, there's so many oh, that's way too dark. Okay, let me fix the lighting here a bit. Okay, that's much better. Now it seems like the camera's overexposing. Okay, here we go. Now this is much better, right? Okay. So whenever I turn the light off, the camera's trying to compensate for that. And now it seems okay, but it seems my shirt is not the best for this camera. Well, yeah, what can we do? That's just the way it is. Or I could change the shirt on stream, but probably not something that is appropriate for this kind of stream. But yeah, guys, so Jamstack is something that's been with us for a long time. And like I promised last time when we were looking at Scully, I tried to create the starter. I took the README from my Gridsome one and tried to change that to Scully. But the good thing is it's now deployed on Netlify. The buttons all work, and I made this repository a template, so you should be able to. Oops, this repository may not exist or is set to private. Is that true? Is that? I don't think this is private repository. So maybe there's something wrong with the link. Let me see. So repository. Oh, that's good. That's Kentico. All right, that's my mistake. Let me fix that while I still have it in front of me. So this is under Ondrabus, not under Kentico. Okay. I hope that this is the only mistake that I've made here. If you find one, let me know. But it seems okay. This should be fine. Deploy to Netlify. Okay, now this looks good. Now this looks good. All right, so if you're interested in working with Netlify and working with Scully, make sure to check out this repository. I'm gonna send this link into the chat. There we go. So take a look. Otherwise, I wanna today continue the journey through Jamstack, but today a little bit of a different journey. Now, so far, we've always been looking at Jamstack as if it was JavaScript frameworks only. So we looked at, on the stream, we looked at Gridsome, we looked at Gatsby, we looked at Next.js, we looked at Scully last time. Now, the next thing I want to check out is Static. Static is, it used to be YAM, it's a static site generator for .NET. Now, my history is .NET. I've been working with .NET since what I can remember. So I like .NET, but I haven't used it for a long time because I was just focusing on the front-end frameworks, and I learned to be quite happy with these. Mainly Next.js, that's really an awesome framework. So, but how does Jamstack work on .NET? I don't know. I'm gonna Google that. So the static site generator is called Static. So let's take a look at this website. This is the first time, literally my first time I'm looking at this website. So we'll see how easy it is to actually start with this static site generator. So how do we do that? Static web, static docs, static framework. Okay, I assume static site generator is appropriate for most use cases. Use it out of the box or extend it with custom pipelines, data sources, and layouts. Okay, that sounds like something I would want to do. But what's the reason, what's the difference between static web and static framework? Framework behind static web and static docs with over 100 modules to help you easily build a custom static site generator application specifically for your needs. So I assume that static web is some kind of a wrapper around the static framework. Is that right? Look at this, how it works. This should be interesting. So we get the input files, we get databases, and document content. So I have a headless CMS. Where does a headless CMS fit into this pipeline? So we have input files. Input files could be like a templates or something like that. And documents, document content all together make, okay, so these two mixed will go into pipeline. Pipeline, documents, okay. And output files. All right, so I assume this is some kind of engine that processes everything that I give to it. And choose it somehow and creates an output files. Static is powerful because it combines a few simple building blocks that can be rearranged and used in limitless combinations. Think of it like Lego for static generation. Okay, that sounds good. I always liked Lego. Content and data can come from a variety of sources, including input files, databases, and services. All right, that makes sense. So not input files, not databases, but we're looking at services here. So the last use case here, and document metadata. What's that? Documents are created that each contains content and metadata. These documents are processed by pipelines. Each pipeline consists of one or more modules that manipulate the documents given to it by transforming, aggregating, filtering, or producing entirely new documents. Yeah, that makes sense. So first of all, we take the data, we combine it with documents, it seems. The final output of each pipeline is made available to other pipelines and may be written to output files or deployed to hosting services. Okay, now here we go. Feature comparison, that's what I'm looking for. So preview with live reload, web, check. General deployment pipelines. Okay, so that kind of confirms my theory that web and docs are some kind of a wrapper around the framework. Out-of-the-box Netlify deployments, out-of-the-box Azure App Service deployments. That sounds good. I don't want to do this on my own. Open source, but web is not open source. License MIT. Okay, but it's free for non-commercial usage. So I don't think my starters are making any money. So I guess we can use that. So yeah, let's try web. Get started. So it's a powerful static site web generation toolkit, blah blah blah. Easiest way to start with static web is to install static.web package into .NET Core console application and use the bootstrapper to configure everything. Unlike other static generators which ship as a self-contained executable, static is a framework and as such it runs from within your own console application. Now, this is something that I really like. You know, with .NET, we are used to hosting stuff on Azure or on your own Windows server, or with .NET Core, it can be, I don't know, like a Docker image or something, right? But we don't want stuff like something.exe. We don't want executables. Because just, you know, remember how uneasy, or I don't want to say complicated because it's not complicated, you just have to pay money for it. But if you have a Node.js application and you want to host that somewhere, like Heroku or something, then it costs money because there is server-side processing, right? Then you have static sites which are hosted on Jamstack, or not on Jamstack, but which are hosted on Netlify or on Versal on hosting platforms like this. And as far as you don't build that 50 times a day, you're fine. You're actually okay with having the site there for free. So we as developers, we learned to like free things, and having this as a framework actually makes it makes more sense to this, because I can deploy it wherever I want. I can handle it as just a simple .NET Core application. So definitely good stuff here. So step 1, install .NET Core. Static web consists of .NET Core libraries, and installing the .NET Core SDK is only the prerequisite. Okay, I think I already have that installed. Is there a way how can I check this? Check .NET Core installed. Okay, here we go. .NET version 3.1.100. If you want to see installed runtimes, no. .NET info. .NET Core SDK is installed 3.1.1. Now, I don't really remember when I installed this, so this might be way out of date. Let's take a look at what is the current version. Maybe here. Oh, now the .NET Core 3.1 seems to be current. Okay. So all in all, I should be fine. So let's go to step 2. Create a .NET Core console application. Cool, I can do that. So I'm just gonna create here, or is that gonna create a folder for me as well? I don't remember, but hopefully it will. So .NET new, let's call that application Lumen. Or let's call that, we used to call it Scully Starter Content Lumen. So this one is gonna be static starter content Lumen. Oh, okay, but this should be console. And this is the name. Perfect. So restore succeeded, and the third step is install static.web. In the same folder as your newly created project. I assume this is what I need to run. Okay, let's go into static and let's write in .NET add package static.web. Okay, I wanna use the most recent version of static. So use whatever is the most recent version of static. The version flag is needed while the package is pre-release. So I assume it's not pre-release anymore, I think. Yeah, this works. 1.0.0 beta 12. Okay. Package static.web is incompatible with all frameworks in project. That sounds good. All right, so I assume I need to specify the version. So I guess this is still a pre-release version. All right, so let's do that. Let's put in here version, and that would be 1.0.0 beta.12. Okay, now this looks much better. Ooh, it's installing a lot of stuff. Cool, so this was finished in 10 seconds, nice. What's next? Step 4, create a bootstrapper. Create a bootstrapper for static web. Creating a bootstrapper for static web initializes everything you'll need to generate your website. While you can certainly extend static web with new pipelines or custom modules, you shouldn't need to for most sites. So add the following code in your program.cs file. Okay, now first of all, I'm going to open this in code. Here's the program CS. I'm just going to open here a new terminal. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Static. It initializes everything you'll need to generate your website. So I need to add this following code into the program.cs. Okay. Now what does this do? Okay, just hide. Okay, this is supposed to be public. Oh, this is... Okay, let me just fix that here. Main. Okay, now we're gonna await bootstrapper. No code actions available. Dot factory, create web arcs, run async. Why don't I get, oh, here it is. So using static dot app, using static dot web. Okay, step 5, add some content. So start adding content by creating markdown files in your input folder. By default, input folder. Oh, by default, the input folder is located in your project root. Okay, let's try that. So I'm just going to create here a new folder. It seems I'm supposed to do that. Input. And in input, I'm going to create a new file called index.md. So here, we're gonna just copy this markup or this text and let the magic happen. Okay. So .NET run. The type or namespace name task could not be found. Oh, no, my mistake. I forgot one using here. So using system threading tasks. Okay, something happened. Nice, it's running some stuff here. So let's take a look at this closely. So static framework version, root path, okay. Theme input. Executing 10 pipelines. Analyze content, archives, assets, content, data, directory, metadata, feeds, input redirect sitemap. Clean temp directory. Okay, this is nice. So it does the cleanup automatically. Starting inputs, input phase, execution. So I got one module. That's interesting. I just added index.md, so I would expect one document and 0 modules, but maybe I'm just missing something here. Starting directory, metadata, input phase, execution. Finish directory, input phase, execution. Okay, so I assume these are the pipelines. Directory metadata, inputs, input. Oh, here we go. Finished inputs, input phase execution, one output documents. So I assume that's my index.md. Starting inputs process phases execution, one input documents, 9 modules. Input process execution finished. Assets, there are no assets. Starting content process, finish content process, one output document. Post-processing. Okay. Execution summary. Well, a lot of logging output, but here we go. Here is the out. Okay, so here is the output folder. Now I want to check what that is. So the output folder contains index.html and a sitemap. What's in the sitemap? So in a sitemap, there is nothing. There is only location of the index page. I assume that would be the index page. So let's see. Okay. Yeah. So let's open this. Nice, hello world. It shows hello world. H1 and a paragraph here. Perfect. Okay, so that seems to work well. Is that all that is here? This will by default create an output folder in your project folder if it doesn't exist and generate static website content based on what is in your input folder. Yeah, that's what happened actually. Or run it. .NET run -- preview. Okay, this will generate content and serve your output folder over HTTP. Let's see. Nope, it's not doing that. Not doing that. But maybe there's... Oh, okay. I was missing one space there. Here we go. Okay, allow access. Nice. So preview server listening at localhost 5080. Nice. Okay, so this works. So I wonder if I go here and save this, does this work just like that? I have to refresh this. Yeah, I have to refresh this. But it's updated, so it just doesn't update the page. So this could be a nice addition here, because whenever you're doing something, or I'm wondering if you're doing a change in Next.js or in GridSum, and if you save the file, I think it reloads automatically. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe if you guys know, let me know. But I think it does work automatically. But okay, this works. So what's next? .NET run preview. Child pages, themes, deployment. Okay, so this is very easy and a quick start. So now my question is, how do I get rid of the markdown files and add here a real content from headless CMS? I didn't mean to remove the terminal window. Oops. Show me terminal, the first one. Okay, I'm just gonna close this. And I know that there is a static plugin for content, so maybe there's gonna be a README that would help me how to do that. So static content module. Here we go. So set up a project on content. There's a free developer plan. This document assumes you're using the demo project. Okay. The hot reload usually works with static too, without the need of refresh. Yeah, it doesn't work for me that way. I don't know why. But maybe it's because I'm using the markdown files. I don't know. But, you know, if I run this, it's not doing the hot reload. See, it's running now on 5080. And if I go in here, change this, make change, it's not refreshing anything. But if I refresh this, it works. So I don't know, maybe this is just a too simple page, not sure. But that's fine. I'm happy with, you know, reloading it on my own for now. So let's take a look at this. So I already have, I'm gonna use, okay, so let's take a look in content. I already have a project that I wanna use. So it's not the demo project that the repository expects, but we can make that work. So that would be the grid sum. Where is my grid sum? Grid sublumen, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. So I have my project ready. Now, follow the getting started steps for static framework, then come back here to set up a pipeline. I like this. This is so good. This is like the most simple English. Just follow the getting started steps and then come back here. This is cool. Add content static to the project. So, okay, I'm just gonna trust you and run this. So .NET add package content static version 100 -star. You know, it all seems to work, you know, working from code and working from the console or from the terminal. I kind of miss full feature Visual Studio and the NuGet packages dialogue, you know, where you would just search for the package and then you would complain, why the hell there is no package of that name when I know that the package is there. And then you find the checkbox that says include pre-releases and so on. Kind of brings back old memories. So I kind of miss that. But yeah, as far as everything works here, maybe this is the new better way of doing things. But I have to say I like the NuGet packages much more than I like this kind of npm install kind of style. All right, so we added the content.static to the project. Install the content generator tool to generate strong type models for your project. Generate the models for your project. Okay, so it's gonna automatically generate my models here. That sounds good. Can I do that automatically? Or do I have to run this every time? Okay, the recommended way of obtaining this tool is installing it as a .NET Core tool. You can install it as a global tool or per project as a local tool. Okay, I think I do have that installed already. Let me try. Canico, oh, it's content model generator. Oops, I don't. Okay. So .NET tool install. I can install this globally. Model generator. You can invoke the tool using the following command. Okay, I assume this is our way of saying everything was successfully installed. Nice. All right, so now I need to run content model generator. Okay, but we're gonna need to do some stuff here. So content model generator project ID. Now I need to change the project ID here. So I'm gonna take the one from here. Namespace. just gonna leave that default. Okay, so just project ID. Let's go back here. Cannot find a tool in the manifest file that has a command named content model generator. So this doesn't work. Ooh, maybe I forgot to do... Oh, that's a local tool. I installed this globally. .NET tool install. Start using... So what happens if I just run it like this? I think it's doing something. Here we go. Okay. So it just generates everything in the root folder. Yeah. Okay, let me just clean this up a little bit. Not what I wanted to do. But I didn't specify otherwise, so my issue, my problem, my mistake. So let's move that. Let's see. These are all that were generated. Let's put that into model. Cool. Okay, now let's get back. Yep, that's the way to do that if you install it globally. Yeah, thanks. But maybe installing it locally would be better. Because right now, if I give this to a colleague, how is he going to know that he needs, you know, this is program CS. Now, how does he find out that he needs a content model generator? So if he changes something, then he's probably gonna have to look at this README as well to know how to generate it. So I don't know, is there a way how you can incorporate it into the build process? Like I think that the tool manifest sounds like a good idea, like to have a file here that says, hey man, you're gonna need a Kentico content model generator because I run this on every build to get, you know, the most up-to-date changes from Kentico content. Yes, you can do that. Nice. How? I mean, with Node, you would just add it to package.json, right? Add a script there that is called initial setup, for example, and install everything. So something like that would be nice here. Standalone app for Windows. I think I was starting with this. So I downloaded this as an app and just let it, you know, sit in my downloads folder. All right. So, but let's say we have the models here. We have everything generated. Now put a razor view. So should I read this as well? The tool generates a C# class. No, that's I know what this does. But okay, maybe it would be good to reiterate over what this tool does. So the tool actually goes over all of my models. So this is GridSum Lumen project, and you see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models here. And they are all used here. And the tool actually goes over my content types and creates a C# class or .NET class for every single one of them. So if you look at model, okay, I can do that here. Oh, come on. So if I do that here and look at article, you see this is empty because you can adjust the class yourself. So it's a partial, but here you see there is, this is what was generated. So that's why it's .generated.cs. And it has codename, category codename, and so on. And it has all the fields that the article content type has in the headless CMS, right? So this is nice. The very good thing is that if you actually add this to your build query, so if you run the model generator with every build, it will only change the generated files. At least I hope. but it should do only that, because the article author and so on, that should stay, because you might have some changes there. Yeah, you might want to add a field, adjust the functionality a bit, so that should stay untouched. Perfect. So let's go back. Let's go back here. So that's what this paragraph says, I assume. Yeah. Then put a razor view named article CS.html into input. Okay, I'm gonna delete, or just leave it there. I'm gonna rename it to how is it called? Article.cs.html into input. I'm just gonna remove this and add here model. My model is not article, so in my case it's Contigo content models dot article. And let's do this the same as is in the example. So model dot, I'm not sure if there's a title here. Oh, there should be. Yeah, there it is, title. And there is not a body copy. There is content. So model.title and model.content. As you can see, the razor view uses the model generated by content. If you open the project in Visual Studio, you'll get code completion and feedback to help you write your view. Yeah, the question would be, can I do that here in Visual Studio Code as well? No, it doesn't seem like that. So this is only title, but that's obvious because I've used it here already. So maybe I need the full feature of Visual Studio here, which I think I do have that installed. Yeah, 2019 here. But let's stay in code for as long as I can. Configure the delivery client for your content project. So in program.cs, add in the service configurations needed to register the delivery client and the custom type provider. Okay, so the custom type provider is for the rich text resolution, I assume. Let's see. Public static. Here we are. So bootstrapper create web. Where is my create web? So I'm just gonna put here create default. Configure services. Services config. So I always like to, instead of just copy pasting stuff, I always like to write them on my own, because it kind of lets you understand the things better. So add the type provider, services, add singleton, I type provider. You see, so now I know exactly that I will need to add a custom type provider. That's something I'll need to add to my project. Then configure delivery SDK. And now I know exactly that I'm gonna need to add a project ID somewhere here. Add delivery client. Options with project ID. So here I'm adding the project ID. That would be this part. Oops. Okay. Oh, I was too quick here. Okay, let me just close this. Then we want to use use production API. So does it also happen to you that when you want to write use, you just automatically type user, or if you want to say serve, you automatically type server. Happens to me all the time. So use production API build, and we should be fine with the services. So we configured the services, and then we do run async. So we don't need the create web. For the pipeline, add the following code to your project. Which pipeline? So this is the first time I'm hearing about a pipeline here. Oh, okay, here it is. Follow the getting started steps for static framework, then come back here to set up a pipeline. Okay, so I'm setting up a pipeline. So this is what I missed. So I'm setting up a pipeline here. I assume the pipeline, this is an input pipeline, I assume, for getting the content from the headless CMS. Okay, now it makes sense. But I still need to do the custom type. Or the custom type provider might be actually here. Here it is. Okay, so in Cantico content models, there is a custom type provider. So I assume I'm just gonna need the namespace there. Okay, now it all starts to fall into place. So custom type provider. So I'm just gonna add it right here using Cantico content models, because we have the type provider there. And I assume you're also gonna need some namespace for the type provider, and that is, I think, coming from the SDK. But we're probably gonna hear some errors there, or it may be dependency of the content.static. So if that is a dependency, then I assume it's already installed here. We'll see, but we're definitely gonna need some additional usings here, because otherwise we have no way of resolving the iType provider. Okay, so all right, let's move on. So for the pipeline, add the following code to your project. So I'm just gonna create here a folder pipelines and add a new file, articles pipeline. Okay, so this is gonna be public class articles pipeline. No, not articles pipeline, just pipeline. And there is a constructor here that takes iDelivery client. Okay, so I assume that this is to get the data from the headless CMS. So input modules, new module list, new content article client. Okay, so this is load all articles from content. Okay, so I assume that this is the module that's doing all the magic here. Set the output path for each article. So new set destination, config from document. Okay, so we created the documents, and now we add a new normalized path article slash. Okay, so this is the URL of the article. So I'm just going to use articles because that's the way how we used it in all the other Lumens. So articles slash doc as content article. And here is URL pattern.html. I assume that this is coming from the article. So when we look at article, I have here a slug. So I'm just going to use a slug here. Slug.html. Okay, now that's all here. So that's input. Process modules. new module list, pull in the Razor view, new merge content, read files, patterns is article.cshtml. Now I have that file in there in input. So probably I'm gonna have to do input/article cshtml. Then render the Razor view into the content of the document. So new render Razor. And we're gonna use strongly typed model for the Razor view. So with model, config from document context. Oh, do I have, yeah, that's fine. Document as content article. Okay, and output module, new module list, new write files. Okay, so what this does is it takes all the articles from content, sets a destination for them to articles slash this URL based on the slug from the document itself. It processes that in a way that it takes the input data and runs them through a Razor view and then writes the files as an output module. Okay, that makes sense. But what I'm missing here, run the pipeline.net run. What I'm missing here is how is the pipeline added to the whole process? It might be that all the pipelines are found automatically, because I don't see them being added anywhere around. So let's try to do that. But I expect some errors here. There we go. The term content model generation, script file or operable program. Oh, is this all the term? Okay, let me clean this and run this again. Okay, I missed semicolon somewhere. Articles pipeline 2510, but the good thing is that it knows about this file, so it seems like it's automatically, yeah, as Rocky says here, it's loaded automatically by convention. Okay, that's fine. A little bit confusing though. I would expect to be, supposed to add this somewhere, but okay, here we go. Another error here. Articles pipeline 24. What did I do? Oh, okay. Put the semicolon in the wrong place. The type or namespace name pipeline could not be found. Okay, now that's what I was talking about, right? You need to add some kind of namespaces here. And right now I have no idea what those are. Okay, for idle library client, I might be able to figure that out, but I have no idea what about the pipelines. So, and I'm not getting any help here. So the next thing that I can try is to run a normal Visual Studio and try Visual Studio if it's gonna help me, but this is something that I would expect here in the documentation, to be honest. So open a folder. Wow, look at that. Last project was opened 15th of June. So for a long time, I haven't opened Visual Studio. So I'm looking at not F, but here's that. We're looking at projects, stream, and static starter. Okay. Wow, Visual Studio Update. No, I don't want to do that now. Okay, let's look at that. Wow, how do I change this to a dark layout? Somewhere under options. Somewhere in the editor or something like that. Environment, fonts and colors maybe. Oh, there it is, color theme. No, stop, don't do anything. There it is. Your changes to the following categories are saved. Okay, yeah. All right, now we are in the black theme, dark theme. So what I want to do now, okay, I'm gonna turn a bit of more light on me. Nice. I was in dark mode too, I assume. So let's go here and let's look at the pipeline. So I added that here in the articles pipeline. Now, is the IntelliSense going to work here? It's not doing anything, guys. Not doing anything. Okay. So that kind of sucks. Because right now I have no idea how to find out, or let me tell me how to do that, guys. Because I don't know how to find out what is the right namespace for this namespace. I can do like using static. Maybe that'll help. But it seems like Visual Studio is not going to help me at all, so I can just switch back to Visual Studio Code. I can add here using static and just do a try fail, but you have to open the CS project. Okay, good advice. Let me try to do that. Open the CS project. Oh, the C# extension is recommended for this file type. Okay, install it, please. OmniSharp for Windows, .NET Debugger. Yeah, install everything. Nice. So when I open, okay, let me go back here. I'm gonna open the CS project file. So here I have the static.web and content.static. So I assume that this is what I should do as using, or I should add as using here, static.web. Could not be found. No, doesn't. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I installed one package here. Now I get IntelliSense. Nice. So using static core. I don't need static web. Now iDelivery client using Kentico content delivery abstractions sounds good to me. Now, where do we have the module list? Static.common. Content.static. Now here we go. Now Kentico content models. Sweet. This is what I was missing. This is the best .NET experience. You know, when you just do control and dot and everything happens automatically for you. Sweet. All right. Now let's take a look here. Still an issue here. Configure services static.common. Microsoft extensions, dependency injection, perfect. Yes, add everything in there, perfect. All right, so now we should be able, not output terminal, now we should be able to run this, right? Well, okay, something happened. So let me do the preview again. But what I could do, I could just check what was generated, right? Pipeline preview does not exist. Oh, that makes sense. So let's take a look. Where is my output folder? So I said that it should store everything under articles, but it's not doing that. Pipeline preview does not exist. That's fine. Let's see what the log shows. .NET Run, static framework, root path, input paths, nothing, input. Output path, output. But there is no output folder here. Finished articles pipeline input phase execution. 2 modules. 5 output documents. Okay, let's see. Here in content, article, 5 content items. Okay, so it seems like the content is making it all the way to static. That's good. Starting articles pipeline process phase execution, 5 input documents and 0 output. So the problem is right there. So let's take a look again at the pipeline. Maybe there should really be just an article here. That's what I changed. Let me fix that and run it again. Ooh, something's happening. Okay, so we got 5 input documents. Value cannot be null, parameter value. So render razor. Something is null here. Okay, can we debug this? Or we can get more, okay. With L debug flag. Ooh, that's a lot of logging. But let's see. Okay, this seems to be okay. There was the first error here. Processing razor for articles. Okay, this is fine. But here is a null. Okay, so it seems that there is something wrong here. That model title or model content is empty for the GHTML. Now let's see what article has a slug G. This one. But content is here, title is here too, so that shouldn't be the problem. Okay, all the 4 input documents were created fine. Does one of the articles have an empty slug? No. You see that the slug is here. So if that's the g.html, that's okay. Because when you look here, the slug is g. So this is fine. So how am I supposed to know which value cannot be null and the parameter is value when I don't know where the value is used? So we look at articles pipeline. With model, config from document, document context as content, article. So this is okay, this is working. Try to debug it, pipeline line 27. Okay, so can I debug it here or do I actually need to, oh, here it is, start debugging, okay. .NET Core. Or unpublish the G document for now. Yeah, I could do that too. Okay, so this is just you know, setting it up. So here we go. Document. So okay, this is article. Okay, make it larger. I don't see. Okay, this is not the one. It was fifth one, right? So this is second, third, fourth. Now it should have a problem there, this one. Articles G, destination. Values. Current object is null. Why is this object null? But there are some data here. File content is error undefined. A brief history of typography. That's it. That's the data that I'm looking for. So what if I do, okay, debug console. Document is empty. No, it isn't. Okay. So what if I do document as content article? It's there. This is okay. Okay, so now this worked. But now when I run this, it fails. Okay, I'm gonna do what Rocky is saying here. I'm just gonna unpublish it for now. Was the first one, right? Yeah. Unpublish now. Ooh, now we got a value cannot be null. Still 5. Okay, so this takes a while. So we have to give it a second until it's really unpublished. Still not there. Okay, try one more time. This usually takes a few seconds to see. Okay, here we go. 4 output changes, but here we still have value cannot be null. So it's not because of that page. Maybe it's because of the content here. Let's try it. And then it would be just, again, the same old, you know, rich text resolution. No, he still doesn't like it. Value cannot be null, parameter value. And nothing is making its way to the production. All right, but that's something we're probably gonna have to leave till next stream, because it seems like it's not caused by the document here. So I'm just gonna publish this one back again, because there are other projects that are relying on this. So I'm just gonna make this one published page again. The good thing is that we got at least the base setup working. It's not generating pages, but we're gonna fix that next time. But so far, it seems like this is yet just another approach to static site generation. Seems interesting to me. There's a lot of things around that you need to get working. So it's not like typing Gatsby develop or something. But definitely looks interesting. We're gonna continue on this one next time. We're gonna figure out how to, well, I figured out how to debug this. So we're gonna debug this next time, see where the parameter is, why it's showing me value when I'm not using value anywhere. And we're gonna fix it and see if we can build the page. So I'll see you again next week on Thursday. I'm thinking about pushing the stream a bit into later afternoon. If you have any tips, when would be a better hour for you, let me know on Twitter. Because I think that 6 p.m. or something like that might be better for some. So let me know. Thanks for watching today. You'll find the recording on YouTube as usual, and I'll see you next time. Thanks and enjoy your weekend.